Hello everyone and welcome to Vandy's Cars and Collectibles. Today's video is the 15 most valuable dimes worth a lot of money. In the history of coin and dollar bill collecting, the dime isn't really a much appreciated coin. I think it's due to the size of the coin. The smaller something is, the less appreciated it is. But these 15 dimes we're going to talk about today could pull in some pretty serious money. Starting it off at number 15, we have the year 1800 dime. A solid example from the early days of the US Mint, the 1800 dime is very rare. It features Lady Liberty with a ribbon in her hair, similar to the other dimes of the era. It's believed that only 200 of these coins have survived in any condition, making good condition ones extremely hard to come by. In March of 2022, this dime here sold for $192,000. Number 14, the 1860 O seeded dime. Only 40,000 of these dimes were minted, and finding one in good condition is almost impossible. Minted just before the United States Civil War, this coin was in regular circulation as the Union and Confederacy fought on the battlefields across the country. In fact, people have reported finding examples on the battlefield where soldiers may have dropped or lost them in and during battle. This one pictured here sold for $192,000 at auction. Number 13, the 1874 CC Arrows dime. 10,817 Arrow dimes were minted in Carson City in 1874, making it one of the rarest dimes of the period. Most of these dimes went into regular circulation, where they were worn down or lost. 80 of these dimes are estimated to still be in circulation today, and only a few are close to mint condition. These dimes in poor condition could be worth thousands of dollars. In 2022, one in very good condition was sold at auction for $216,000. Number 12, the 1919 D Mercury dime. Although there were nearly 10 million of these coins minted, they're very hard to come by in excellent condition. The Mercury dime features Lady Liberty, but her headdress is winged. People confused her with Mercury, the Roman god of commerce, communication, and more. A Mercury dime isn't always super valuable, but they stopped making them in 1945. This Mercury dime pictured here sold at auction in the year 2000 for $218,500. That was the year 2000. Imagine what it's worth today. Number 11, the 1798 small 8 dime. The 1798 small 8 dime is very rare, with only 27 examples known to be still owned privately. The 1798 dime looks very similar to the 1797 dime mentioned above. Lady Liberty has a ribbon in her hair and is displayed on the front. The year is stamped under the portrait. However, in some variations, the 8 in the year is stamped smaller than the rest of the numbers. This dime sold in 2008 for $253,000. Number 10, the 1871 CC seeded dime. The 1871 CC dime is very hard to find in mint condition. No one is sure how many exist in this shape, but it isn't many. But when one pops up, it sells for a lot of money. Over 20,000 dimes were minted in 1871 in Carson City, the first year that the mint produced dimes. It's a good fact to know. And only 110 are estimated to still exist. This makes any one of these dimes very valuable regardless of the condition. 1871 CC dimes in worn condition sell for thousands of dollars. Look for the CC stamped on the back of the dime under the bottom center of the wreath. In 2014, this dime pictured here sold for $270,250. Number 9, the 1841 no drapery dime. The standard 1841 dime featured a seated Lady Liberty with draped fabric covering her body and arms. However, a rare proof version had a subtle variation. The drapery leaves her arm bare. There are only 2 known examples of this version of the coin, and one in 2022 sold at auction for $312,000. The extreme rarity of this coin makes it very valuable. Additionally, there's some question about why and how it exists. Some people think it was over-polished, removing the detail of the drapery. However, it seems more likely that it was a design variation included in a proof set. Number 8, the 1797 13 Stars dime. At this early point in the history of the US Mint, dimes could have different designs featuring different numbers of stars. Some had 15, 16, or 13 stars, and various other elements of the design could be different too. 25,000 13-star dimes were minted in 1797, and it's likely only about 50 exist today. Most examples sell for a few $1,000s, even if they have a lot of wear. But like all coins, condition has a major impact on the value. Only 2 are known to exist in this nearly pristine condition, which is why they're worth so much. This one sold here in 2008 at auction for $402,500. Number 7, the 1822 Cameo dime. Proofs of coins in mint condition can be incredibly popular, pushing what were already to be an important coin even higher in value. Dimes from 1882 are already rare, with only about 100,000 minted, less than 10% of the number of dimes minted the year before 1821. However, proof copies of these dimes are almost impossible to find. In 2014, this dime pictured here sold for $440,625. Number 6, the 1975 No S Roosevelt dime. A minting mistake makes the 1975 No S Roosevelt dime wanted by collectors. This coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint and should have had the S mark above the date to indicate its origin. However, a few coins didn't have the mark. All but 2 of these coins were destroyed by the San Francisco Mint. The 2 that slipped through were included in proof sets of 1975 coins, both bought by a California collector the same year. The No S error makes this 1975 coin the most valuable Roosevelt dime in existence. One of the 2 known examples sold in 2019 for $456,000. Number 5, the 1873 CC dime with arrows. The 1873 dime is a very uncommon coin. Only 18,791 examples were minted in Carson City, and most have been lost or destroyed. Estimates indicate about 135 still survive, and most of these are very worn. If you find an 1873 CC dime in any kind of shape, it's worth thousands of dollars. One of the 3 known mint state examples sold in 2022 for $552,000. Number 4, the 1873 CC No Arrows dime. The 1873 dime is valuable on its own, but a rare mistake makes one worth even more. The 1873 No Arrows dime lacks the standard arrows on either side of the stamped year on the front of the coin. On the front, it shows Lady Liberty seated and holding a shield. On the back, it says 1 dime, surrounded by a wreath. Mint records indicate that 12,400 dimes without arrows were struck in 1873 in Carson City. But when the mint discovered their mistake, they melted these dimes down to create new coins. Someone may have traded a regular dime for this one, saving the No Arrows dime from being melted. There is only 1 of these dimes known to exist. This dime pictured right here sold in April of 1999 for $632,500. Imagine how much it would sell for today. The owner of this dime has not sold it since 1999. This dime could possibly be the most expensive dime on this list, but there's no price to prove it. Number 3, the 1976 Liberty dime. One of these coins was sold in incredible condition and represented one of the first strikes of the coin, possibly one that never entered circulation. On the front, it shows Lady Liberty with some of her hair pulled back, and on the back, there's United States of America in quotations and an eagle. This particular example is so valuable because of its age, rarity, and condition. Over 22,000 1796 dimes were struck, but many of them were lost or in poor condition. Even those in rough shape are still worth thousands. An especially fine example of one of the oldest US coins, the 1796 Liberty dime, sold in June of 2014 for $881,250. Number 2, the 1792 silver dime. The next most valuable dime is the 1792 silver dime. There are only 3 known examples of this coin, and they were struck before the US Mint was officially up and running. The dime features a flowing hair portrait on the front, which may be the likeliness of the First Lady Martha Washington, or simply a picture of Lady Liberty. Legend says that George Washington himself gave permission to mint this coin, then called Disme, D-I-S-M-E, a dime with an S in the middle of it. The association with Washington, along with the extreme rarity of the coin, makes this one of the most valuable dimes in existence. Over 2,000 half Dismes were struck at the same time, and a collector found one in a neighbor's garage as recently as 2021. How funny is that? Although it's less likely you'll find this dime just floating around, it never hurts to look. This dime sold on April 2016 for $998,750. Okay guys, before we get to the number 1 dime, I just want to thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoy this kind of content, please like and subscribe, and if you don't enjoy it, hit that dislike button and let me know what you didn't like. Okay, the number 1 dime on this list is the 1894 S Barber dime. One of the rarest US coins in existence is the 1894 S Barber dime, and only 9 known examples are known to exist today. A proof copy of a coin they didn't end up minting that year. There were originally only 24 struck. The dime features Lady Liberty in profile on the front and a wreath on the back with "1 dime" written, stamped in the center. Although it was a proof coin, a few ended up in circulation, including one that showed up in 1957 at Gimbel's department store in New York City. There's a famous story about this coin that may or not be true. Legend says that the San Francisco Mint superintendent, knowing the coin would be exceptionally rare, gave 3 of them to his daughter to keep. On her way home from the mint on a hot day, she spent one of the 3 for ice cream and another one for candy the next day. Only one has surfaced, and it's sold for $1,997,500 in January of 2016. I'm going to add in 3 bonus dimes. These are valuable dimes that you might find in your pocket. While you're not likely to stumble upon a 1792 dime in your spare change, there are plenty of dimes floating around that are still worth some money. Keep an eye out for the following 3 rare coins. Number 1, the 1982 no mint mark Roosevelt dime. In the early 1980s, the Philadelphia Mint began stamping coins with a P. However, the process left lots of room for human error, and in 1982, some dimes were issued that didn't include the mint mark. These come in strong and weak strikes, referring to the boldness of the stamping. The strong strikes are worth the most, starting at about $75. One sold in 2021 for $288. It's definitely worth your time to check for this date and lack of mint mark, which would normally appear as a small P above the date of the coin's face. Number 2, the 1942-1941 D overdate Mercury dime. One of the most valuable Mercury dimes that you still might find in your pocket is the 1942-1941 overdate. During World War II, some examples of this 1942 dime were struck in the Denver Mint with both the 1941 and 1942 dies. If you find one, it's probably worth a few $100s, and it could be worth much more. A mint condition example sold for $25,850 in 2016. You'll need to examine the date closely to see traces of the overstrike. Number 3, the 1965 Transitional Era Roosevelt dime. In 1965, the US Mint transitioned from making dimes out of 90% silver to copper and nickel instead. There weren't supposed to be any silver dimes during this transition, but a mistake meant a few 1965 silver dimes slid into circulation. Today they can be worth $3,000 or more, with one selling at auction in 2019 for $8,400. If you have any 1965 dimes in your pocket, it's worth taking a closer look. Check the edge of the dime. If it appears silver with no traces of copper, it could be one of these rare dimes. As you can see by the variety of dimes, there are a number of factors that could help you determine if a dime is rare and valuable. Certain years of dimes are very valuable, such as those made during the 1790s and 1800s. Condition, of course, has a huge impact on the value, with dimes in mint condition always fetching more at auction than similar but worn examples. Errors can also make a dime worth more. Ultimately, watching for all these factors could help you spot those special coins and sling all the way to the bank. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon on the next video. Take care, everybody.